The girl terrifyingly discovered that there seemed to be something scary outside the car, frightening everyone into holding their breath. However, the next second, seeing the monster outside attacking humans, those inside the car could only wait to die on the spot, so everyone jumped out of the car to escape. They thought hiding under the car would save them, but when they saw the little boy being dragged away by the monster, the girl realized there was no way out. Just as she was about to be eaten by the monster and was in despair, gunshots rang out outside. It turned out that the army led by the mother had arrived to save the surviving humans. Seeing that this place was bound to be discovered and fall to the monsters, the father took the daughter to evacuate alone while the mother led the army to continue resisting. The army had already formed a battle formation. As several flares rose into the air, a large number of monsters appeared on the hillside opposite. On the mother's command, the soldiers stood ready. At this moment, it's not hard to notice from the scene that the entire army consists of female soldiers. Why are there no male soldiers? This goes back to the beginning of the story. Hello everyone, this is Old Drama Movies bringing you an apocalyptic sci-fi blockbuster, World Destroyer. Back then, the heroine Mila from Resident Evil picked up her weapon again to fight monsters head-on. No one expected that this movie, which flaunts itself as a monster action film, would depict the heavy fatherly love and the rawest humanity in the apocalypse so vividly, when the whole world heads towards destruction. When all order collapses completely, how is a father supposed to protect his daughter? The story begins 5 years ago with a catastrophic disaster when huge cracks suddenly appeared on the Earth, tearing apart the human world without warning. Countless underground monsters called Smashers surge to the surface along the cracks. They are born with a destructive instinct. Their lower bodies have 8 spider legs while their upper bodies have human torsos. With thick skin and tough flesh impervious to knives and guns, wherever they go, cities become ruins and human homes are wantonly trampled. Even more terrifyingly, humans bitten or scratched by them undergo irreversible mutations, eventually becoming mindless hybrids puppeted by monsters. Even if their heads are cut off, they do not stop moving. Only destroying their brains can kill them completely. Under the monster's fierce attack, the human coalition army suffered defeat after defeat. Modern civilization teetered on the brink amid the monster's roars. The monster virus only infects the crooked face on human chromosomes, so nearly all men died out, leaving mostly women. Commander Mila and her husband Luke raised their daughter Xiaomi together, one of the few happy families in the apocalypse. On Xiaomi's 12th birthday, the father not only gave her a hat but also made a plush toy by hand as a gift. In the material-scarce apocalypse, this gift was especially precious, and Xiaomi loved it dearly. But happiness is always short-lived. Before they finished the birthday cake, their shelter was overrun by monsters. Thus, during the relocation, the story's beginning scene occurred. Xiaomi retreated with her father Luke, found a fishing boat by the sea, and with this boat they could escape to the island across the sea. Just as the father and daughter were about to start the boat, a strange man rushed over. He forced them with a handgun to take him along. The father intended to bring the man, but when he saw the wound on the man's back, he changed his mind because he knew the man would soon mutate. So he lied, saying he needed to refuel the boat. The man followed the father to look for diesel. When the man was distracted, the father pulled out a small knife. The director deliberately cut the next scene, but from the daughter's perspective, the father came back alone. It is inferred that the father killed the man, a helpless act. The father and daughter took the boat away from the mainland to a nearby island. Although resources on the island were scarce, they could still sustain 2 people. The first thing the father did at the beach was to bury landmines at the landing beaches and connect them into a minefield with fuses. Although this could not guarantee to eliminate all monsters, it served as an early warning during monster attacks. They peacefully survived for 6 months. Until one day, this rare piece was broken. The daughter Xiaomi found a girl on the beach while fetching water at the mountain top and loudly called out. Unexpectedly, instead of fleeing, the girl stopped and walked toward the minefield. Frightened, Xiaomi hurried down to stop her. Fortunately, the girl stopped outside the minefield, nearly triggering the mines. Only then did Xiaomi breathe a sigh of relief. He tightly hugged the girl. Having not seen other humans for a long time, Xiaomi was especially kind to the girl, treating her like his own little sister. But Xiaomi knew that because of scarce island resources, his father would never accept extra people. So Xiaomi took the girl into a hidden cave and gave her some food. As time passed, their feelings grew deeper. He not only gave the girl his hat but also his beloved plush toy, however, she did not know. that this seemingly kind act would soon bring huge trouble to her and her father. The next day, when Xiaomi brought food to the girl, she was gone, the hat he gave her was torn, and even the beloved plush toy was broken. But that was not all. Deep inside the cave, the girl underwent mutation. Just as Xiaomi was still shocked, the mutated girl attacked him. Luckily, the father arrived in time to save Xiaomi. It was obvious from the mutated girl that the monster virus had evolved to infect females. Before the girl was eliminated, she sent the island's coordinates to the monsters. Their time to evacuate was running out. Indeed, as the beach minefield exploded, monsters began to land on the island. The father and Xiaomi hurriedly retreated along a pre-designed route. When crossing a single log bridge, the monsters chased them. Just as the father was about to call for help, Xiaomi, who had crossed the bridge, immediately ran back and cut off the monster's head with one stroke. However, unexpectedly, the headless monster could still attack. At a critical moment, someone nearby stomped and crushed the monster's head, severing its control over the body. The father and daughter desperately retreated toward the coast. Finally, they saw the fishing boat on the hillside. As long as they could get the boat into the sea, they could escape the monster's pursuit. However, the monsters came faster than expected. The father told Xiaomi to go first and stayed behind to hold off the monsters. Having been scratched by one earlier, mutation was inevitable, so he wanted to leave hope for Xiaomi. "Let me do this for you, let you fight, but don't forget love." Xiaomi swung his sword and cut the boat's rope, but the sliding rail was long unused and already fragile. It only slid halfway. No matter how hard he tried, the boat did not move. At this moment, Luke's body also began to undergo irreversible mutation, black liquid oozing from his eyes. He used his last strength to look deeply in his daughter's direction, wanting to imprint her image forever in his heart. At this time, swarms of monsters had already rushed out of the forest. Just as they were about to pounce on the father and daughter, suddenly the sound of a genuine dragon roar came from the sea. On the lead ship stood the mother he had longed for day and night. The resistance army launched an attack on the monsters. Come on. The movie's ending is open-ended. The war between humans and monsters is far from over, but Xiaomi tightly gripped the long sword in his hand. This time he would no longer hide behind anyone. Many people said after watching this movie that it was an unqualified monster action film with too few monsters and no thrilling final battle. But I saw the most precious core in this film, the so-called World Destroyer. It has never been those grotesque alien monsters. When order collapses and humanity is extinguished, when people lose love and hope and what they want to protect, that is when the world truly heads toward destruction. What the father fought to protect with all his might has never been just his daughter's life, but also the kindness in her heart and the light in her eyes. No matter if the world breaks, he will never have the courage to despair and bow. In the apocalypse, fatherly love is the shield, motherly love is the blade. One teaches children how to live, the other teaches children what to live for. And this love and protection, crossing life and death, is the eternal flame of humanity that will never be extinguished in endless darkness. For the ones they want to protect, they will fight with all their might and someday overcome all difficulties.